Well, let me start by saying that Deron Davis suffered a lower leg injury in practice yesterday. It was a non-contact injury. He'll be out indefinitely until we have, just a very 100% clear indication of what that is. That being said, obviously we're moving forward as a group, and as we head to Minnesota, we know we have a heck of a challenge.
I guess with Duran's injury, does that open a door for Clifton, or how do you kind of see those minutes?
Yeah, I think all hands on deck. It's going to be one of those things that we're going to have to, sort of go practice by practice and game by game. And, the biggest detriment to our team now will be obviously foul trouble, something that is going to be, huge in terms of us moving forward and being successful and having to try and, keep our best players on the floor for the longest period of time. And, all hands on deck. I think every guy on the team at this point in time is going to have to, really raise their level of play. And guys who haven't maybe had such roles here early in the season, like I always say, if you're working and you stay ready, you never know. And when your number's called, you have to be ready to go. And I think there'll be some guys with, more opportunity here to play.
I guess how much, too, do you look at a guy like Colin? And he's played center at times on very undersized teams in the past, but you've just talked about his versatility.
Yeah, he's a big part of what we're doing. I think he played really well for us. Against Wisconsin at times, carried us offensively, being able to make shots. So, he does a lot of things for us. He's an important part to what we're doing, and a lot like these other guys, he's got to, grow his role. He's got to continue to, to be ready to go.
You've had some success with Juwan being down low with four perimeter guys. Can you do that in the Big Ten, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've played in enough teams in our non-conference that stack up to the same size, the same types of teams where Juwan has clearly shown he can be successful in and around the basket, and, being able to use him in different ways, isolated at times, has been our, some of our best, offense. And so I think that'll work.
It's kind of developed quickly, but this situation with Reggie Lynch at Minnesota, maybe not knowing what they'll look like without him, but what does he bring to them? What do you think maybe gets taken away if he's not available?
Well, I think you're looking at the reigning defensive player of the year in the Big Ten. He clearly is a rim protector, altering shots, blocking shots. He really does a great job there. And then, on the other end of the floor, he's a huge presence, on the offensive glass. I mean, he brings, a real force on both ends of the floor. So, having him, not having him, it'll be significant for them. But they also have a ton of good players. I mean, he's not the only guy on their team that's, impactful. It starts, I think, with Nate Mason, and I think, Murphy's obviously, getting ready to tie Tim Duncan, I think, for the most consecutive double-doubles in maybe a season. I think that's what I was told. So, I mean, they have a lot of good players. They'll be fine.
I think you mentioned recently just some of the perimeter guys just kind of playing tight, just not really playing with the freedom that you maybe want to see them play with. How do you kind of coax that out of them? What's the process of really kind of getting those guys to maybe be more of themselves and play more freely?
Yeah, it's a fine line. I think our perimeter guys are a little bit tight, especially shooting the ball. I think those guys got to be freed up here a little bit to take advantage of the opportunities, and to make more plays, be aggressive, and play through some mistakes. I think right now, as we got through the non-conference, as we're entering conference play, without our perimeter guys giving us a boost offensively, not just one guy, I mean all of them, they have to be able to bring a punch. They have to go get it. They have to be more aggressive with it, and we're urging them to do that. And hopefully, as we get a little bit more down the line, we can start to see some growth there, where Josh is playing well, Rob is playing well, Al's playing well, Devontae's playing well. If you ever get a combination of those guys playing well, we're a lot harder to deal with. And I think in just some of our better games this season, when we've showed that we, could play at a higher level, we usually have a couple of those guys step up, and that's just going to be a big key. Everyone's going to have to raise their level of play, and I think our backcourt has the biggest room for growth for our team, just because, in my mind, they're not playing as well as they can, and You know, I think we have to be able to, as a staff, be able to bring more confidence to them.
You know, Tim Duncan was close to 7 foot. Jordan Murphy's 6'6" in doing that. What is it unique about him that enables him to get those double-digit rebounds each and every time out this year?
Well, I guess rebounding in many ways is a great talent. Some guys just have a knack for the ball. I think he has a knack for the ball. He can defensive rebound, he offensive rebounds. It's just part of what he does. He wants the ball. He's also a very, very rugged, physical driving guy around the basket. And, you know, he's tough to handle. You know, he's a great perimeter driver. He's a great perimeter to post guy in terms of how he gets fouled. And then, you know, being able to get 5.5 offensive rebounds a game or whatever it is, just an incredible, you know, skill level. It is. You don't teach guys how to do that. It's hard to get guys to rebound at that level. So, you know, it's a unique skill that he has, and you know, it's something you have to account for, which is it's not a play, it's a player, and he's got a unique skill set that he plays with.
Forgive kind of a dumb question, but you've talked recently about Juwan's success and using that as a springboard to kind of push him up another level. Does this, with Duran out indefinitely, maybe just add another kind of dimension to that, I guess? Yeah,
without question. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on Juwan. There's been a lot of pressure on Juwan in the last month or so to continue to raise his level of play. And, you know, I thought against Wisconsin he wasn't as aggressive as he needed to be at times. I thought later in the game he got better. He was really good in practice yesterday. He's focused. And I think just right now, I mean, he's going to be a guy that walks into every game, and he's going to get the other team's best shot, and he's got to be ready to go because we're gonna go through him a lot. But he's got to continue to be himself. He can't try to force the action. He's got to just be aggressive. He's got to try and rebound the ball for us at a higher level. That's the one thing we're talking to him about is, you know, being a double-figure rebound guy and taking more pride in that area because he knows, I think, as the season continues to evolve here, he's going to have his opportunities to make his plays.
Outside of Juwan, I mean, just how important is it to continue to have the production like you had from your seniors against Wisconsin? I mean, obviously not the result you wanted, but I think it was 37 of the 61 points were from guys like Colin and Josh and Rob.
Well, Colin really was an outlier. You know, Colin really got going. You know, I think we were 4 for 15 from 3, and he made all 4. You know, that's the thing that just it makes it hard on our team right now. We just haven't been able to break through with the easy shots, making an open 3. You know, we've had good looks over the consistent of 15 games. It hasn't been like we've missed really bad ones. We've missed good looks. And I think that's where it comes in, where Josh and Rob and those guys got to step up and make those plays for us and make the easy plays, not the hard ones. You know, be able to make a couple open ones. That relieves the pressure. That's what Colin did for us in Madison. He relieved a little bit of pressure for us by making some shots. But without question, you know, Rob, Josh, Colin, I even throw Juwan in there. You know, you're bringing in Freddie, who's an older guy, but he's in his 2nd year. But some of these guys have been here for a while now. And those guys, you're only as good as your most experienced guys. You know, when those guys are consistent, you're going to have a chance to be consistent. And I think that's what we're searching for.
I was just curious if you've gotten a chance to know Tyra and if you have your thoughts on her breaking the scoring record.
Yeah, a little bit. Since I've been here, she's got a great personality, loves the game. She's in the gym as much as anybody, even more so than our players probably at times. And, you know, just in looking at her numbers, getting 20 a game and being able to do what she's done at her size, it resonates a little bit with me just to watch her. Obviously very, very skilled, can really go. And, you know, to have that type of landmark, career mark, being in the Big Ten, just kind of shows you not only the player that she is, but the competitor she is. And, you know, it's been fun to get to know her a little bit. Like I said, the whole program, our women's program in general, really good people and great work ethic. So, you know, it's a big congratulations to her.
You said that some of the freshmen showed some new energy after going back to home or for the holidays. Have you seen it continue into this week's in practice?
Yeah, those guys are working hard. After practice, before practice, I mean, they are workers, and they've had great attitude, and that hasn't changed. Productivity now is really important, you know, and you getting in conference play. An injury up to a guy like Duran opens up avenues for more playing time. And like I told those guys the other day, with every negative, you have to look at the positive. And the positive is, with more opportunity comes career-defining opportunities. You know, if you take advantage of more opportunity and you play well and you get better, well, you know what? It springboards you into a new identity, a new role in your career. Things like that happen, and all three of those guys have a chance, and they're gonna have a chance to impact our team in a positive way moving forward, more so than maybe they ever realized. So all the hard work, all the reps, now you're put into games, and now you have to learn on the run a little bit, thrown into the fire. And it's a good thing long term, but you're going to go through some bumps, and you know that.